In this video, I wanted to show in pattern Sam-il that key point of difference towards the end of the pattern where the 9-shape punch comes in. And I want you to see this because I don't know if I made it clear in my other videos, but this is from Chung Oh's school. So this is not something that I've put into the pattern here. There's never been a technique that I've ever put into a pattern. I only do techniques that are there. And the only thing that I would ever modify is if there's a mistake clearly in the legacy guide, then chances are I learned the correct way to do it from Chung Oh's school. And only if I want to put like a personal signature on the pattern would I modify something there. And again, that is extremely, extremely rare. But these techniques are in pattern Sam-il from Chung Oh's school. So I want to show you the end of the pattern where you get to the low block. So the legacy guide does this and then this. So they go low block, right? I always want people to understand that it's, when you see the stuff that I'm doing in the videos, none of it is by accident. It's not that I haven't seen the books and the videos and the other stuff. I've seen everything. The way I'm doing it is specifically the way that it was taught by General Choi and Chung Oh, and like I said, these two knew each other, and there was plenty of Taekwondo development that went on since the book. So a lot of people are stuck in the 1970s with the book, and Taekwondo also moved on in the 80s and 90s and 2000s up until, of course, General Choi died. And of course, it'll continue to evolve under different people as well now. But the legacy guide does this, okay? Now, what I wanted to show you was, this is what they call for. At Chung Oh's school, they don't do this, they do this. So look at the difference. There's still a low block, but now it's the low block with the middle block. So it's the difference between this and this. So same block. If there's an attacker here, same block, right? This, right? I'm still protecting. It's still the same block. Now, the legacy guide, they go from here and then they do this. I want you to see the similarity here, okay? Look at this, and now look at this. It's not an accident that this is the next technique in the pattern, right? You see this? Legacy guide, book, General Choi, Chung Oh. This is the next technique. So it's not like this, right? Where am I punching? What am I punching? Who am I hitting? What is this hand doing here that I'm doing this technique? But if you look at it from Chung Oh's perspective, you're blocking and now striking. So I'm protecting myself here against an opponent that's here. Somebody comes this way and I'm striking them with the 9-shape punch. Boom. And what you see, if you look at the legacy guide, they call this, I believe, a twin round punch. I believe they call it a twin round punch. I'd have to check again, but off the top of my head. The problem is, if you practice the technique this way, your fists are going to collide, right? You're going to get a clash of fists. You're going to break your hands or your knuckles trying to do this. Because if you do the technique properly, obviously, if there's a person here, you're hitting them. You're striking them in the side ribs. Right in here is what you're hitting. But if there's no opponent to strike, then you have nothing to stop your fists from coming together and accidentally clashing and hitting your own fist. You'll get a clash of fists, you'll injure yourself and hurt yourself pretty badly. So when you do the technique, it's like this. You let them interlock or interspace. And people say, well, why do you call it a 9-shaped punch? Well, remember 9-shaped block, right? There's the 9 in the 9-shaped block. Well, 9-shaped punch, there it is. There's the number 9, right? You bring it over like this, there's the 9 in the 9-shaped punch. So look at that subtle difference from here to here instead of from here to here. All right? Now, look at the next technique. So you go from this position here. The next move is the forearm inward strike block. When you do it in the legacy guide, why do you think they really have this hand up here? For that forearm block. It just kind of makes it a little bit easier and a little bit nicer to go across and do the forearm block when they go there than if you were to just go like this. Now the forearm block doesn't work. You see that? So if you're watching and you're doing the legacy guide style, if I don't bring this hand up to my shoulder, if I go from here and throw the punch, watch the next technique from here. Look how awkward that is to try to come around and do that forearm inward block. Very awkward. But if you go from here to here and then around, the block is there. And they have a tendency to stop it short. But again, at Chung Oh's school, this to this. And then at Chung Oh's, what they actually do is circular middle block. I kept the forearm inward block. So I kept this technique and brought it across to here. It works, it makes sense. It's one of the rarest blocks in the Taekwondo pattern set. You hardly ever get to see a forearm inward block. So I kept it for that reason. But at Chung Oh's school, they will actually do circular middle block. So interesting, but you can see very subtle variations. You can see how they happen. Believe me, changes start to creep into patterns very quickly, even within the same martial arts school with different instructors. Imagine what happens as it spreads around the world. How much stuff can change over time and things that can happen. So anyway, till next time, thanks.